Today on Craft Club for Kids, we're going to make a Thanksgiving craft. You are going to need a black marker crayon or pencil crayon, a pencil, scissors, some glue, and a bunch of paper. Now these are all the colors I'm using for my leaves, so these are going to be my fall leaf colors. I'm using some green for some grass. I have some white for my cloud, brown I'm using for my tree, black would also work, and then I'm using blue for my background. So go ahead and grab what you need and then we'll get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to take the color I'm using for my tree, so my fall tree, and I want to draw my tree right on top of it. So to draw my tree, all I'm going to do is start with my pencil at the bottom of my page, draw a line that goes down, lift my pencil up, leave a space, draw another line that goes down. This is going to be my tree trunk. And then you're just going to go ahead and draw lines. And when I get to the end of my line, I just like to make a little tip. So here I went to a line and then a tip, and I come back and I come back out again. Come back in, then maybe I'll go up again. And I'm just drawing my branches. Every time I come to the top, I like to just come right back like a little, I curve around, come to a tip and curve back. All trees look different, so there's no right or wrong for this. You can just draw a tree. If this is a bit complicated, draw any tree you would like. You could also take your hand and just use your hand to draw your tree. So you could take your hand like this and just do your fingers if you wanted to. Once you have a tree, you're going to cut it out. Now that I have my tree cut out, I'm going to take my tree and I'm going to place it on my background page. Now I'm using a blue piece of paper. You can choose whatever background you would like. You're going to put some glue on the back of that tree. And you're going to glue it on your page. I like to glue it right in the middle. Then I'm going to put some grass at the bottom. So here I'm using a rectangular piece of paper, and you can see I've run out, so I'm just going to trim a little bit from here to make it match. You can just make your grass as tall as you would like. So I want my grass to go all the way across the bottom. You don't have to put the grass if you don't want. I actually think I'm going to make my grass even a little bit thinner than that. So here I'm going to thin out my grass a little bit, which means I have to thin out this piece. So you can see if you have a long enough piece, you don't need two pieces like I'm using, but I didn't have any extra green paper. This is all going to go at the bottom of my page. And before I glue it, I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut little lines in it. Now I'm cutting little lines in it so it looks more like grass, but be careful if you are doing this, watch your fingers and don't cut all the way to the bottom, because if you cut all the way to the bottom, you are going to end up cutting your piece of paper. So you don't want to do that. Whoop! See? You don't want to do that. So I'm just going to cut, 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 cut. Then I have all those little strips on the bottom. You can see them there. I just like to take my fingers and curl them all up. So some are sticking up. There we go. Once I have that done, I'm going to put some glue and glue that down. Here's the one strip. Now hopefully you have enough that you didn't have to glue yours together like I did, but if you didn't, go ahead and glue the extra piece on. And you can see I have some extra, so I'm just going to trim that off. And there's my grass. Pulling up those pieces. Now what I want to do is I want to make a cloud for the sky. So I want to just take my piece of paper, put it up near the top so I know how big I want it. And then you just take your pencil and you curve it. So you start in one spot, you curve, move over, curve. It can be a bigger or a smaller curve, move around, curve, and curve back again. So I have about 4 curves. They can be bigger or smaller than mine. Clouds are all different shapes or sizes. Yours could be a long cloud. Once you're happy with your cloud, you're going to cut that out. Then I'm going to take my cloud, put some glue on it, and I'm going to glue that in the sky, figuring out which way I want it to look here. I think that's perfect like that. I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to write on my cloud, I am thankful for, and then I'm going to put dot, 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 because we're going to write all the things we're thankful for underneath. Now you can see I just used a black marker for this. I would suggest using a pencil first to make sure that you've spelt everything correctly and that you're happy with your letters. Then go over top of it, and you can go over top of it in a black marker like I did, or a black pencil crayon, or you could use multiple different colors. You don't have to use black. Now we need to make all of our leaves. Remember all these colors that I had at the beginning? So here I have some red, some yellow, some brown, and some orange. You could use some green, but I don't have any more green paper. I'm going to take all my pieces, put them together, and then fold them in half. It helps me make even more leaves. Then I'm going to draw a leaf on there. You can draw a leaf in any shape you want, but I will draw a simple one for you. Taking your pencil, you're going to draw a line, skip over, draw another line, go back to your first line, curve around to the top, then around to the bottom. And then you can do it again. A line, skip over, a line, and you can make these a different size if you want. Curve up to the top, and then curve back down. So you could make a bigger one, smaller ones. You decide. When you're happy with your leaves, you're going to cut them out. What you do want to remember is that we're going to try to put words on these leaves, so you don't want them too small. Or you could use some for decoration and some for words. These ones are a little bit bigger, so these ones will be really nice to put my words on, things that I am thankful for. Now here are all my leaves. I want to start gluing them down. Now I'm going to glue mine first and write on them second. But if you find that gluing them first is a bit more challenging and you'd rather write on your leaves first, then go ahead and you can write on your leaves. It's completely up to whatever is going to work for you. Sometimes if you are writing on something after, it's a little bit harder to do because of the glue. So you go to write on something and there's a little bit of glue underneath your leaf and it makes it a little bit trickier. So it's going to be whatever you find is the best for you. Here I am just randomly placing my leaves all over my tree. Once you like the way your tree looks, if you haven't already written words on them, then you will start to write things you are thankful for. So here I am thankful for, and I'm just going to write things I'm thankful for. So one thing I'm thankful for is music. So I'll write that on a tree. On a leaf. I'm also thankful for water. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for friends. Oh, this one's not quite glued on, so I will glue this one on. And And your tree might not look exactly the same as mine. It might not have the same words, and that is okay. Just go ahead and write as many different words as you can possibly think of on each one of your leaves. And if you end up needing more leaves, go ahead and cut out some more leaves and you can add those. And when you're done, you will have leaves full of all the wonderful things that you were thankful for. Thanks for joining me on Craft Club for Kids. Remember, be creative and have fun.